Hey everybody, welcome back to another Summit Conversations video. Today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of Summit hosts struggle with, and that's how to actually take care of yourself during Summit Week without feeling like you're somehow slacking off or not showing up for your attendees. And since right now is Summit Week for me, it felt like a relevant video to record. And to set the stage and be clear before we dive into this, for some of you who have a summit coming up or are thinking of it and are like, wait, why do we need to care for ourselves extra? How stressful is this going to be? It's one of those things where it doesn't have to be stressful, but we tend to make it stressful, right? There are thousands of people signed up for this event that we're hosting, so it's natural to want to be present in that. And it's natural to want to be really involved in that. And that can make it feel like a lot. And you're going to hear kind of about a mindset shift that I've made recently that makes it feel much more chill. Okay, because your summit can be this all-consuming thing if you let it. It can turn into a high-pressure time where you think you just need to constantly be on, but it doesn't need to always be that way. I used to wake up in the morning and I would grab my phone and go straight to the summit community and be like, what happened overnight? Right? And usually it's nothing, but then I get stuck answering everyone's takeaways and answering any simple questions. And for the rest of the day, I'd rotate between live chat boxes in the inbox in the community constantly from the time I opened my eyes until I went to bed. And I felt like I could never rest. But you don't have to do that. That is both exhausting and unnecessary. Looking back at that, I think it was a combination of poor event planning on my part, right? I was planning an event that required more of me than I could handle. And then I also just had this unrealistic expectation, this unrealistic mindset about what was required of me as the host. I didn't need to respond to everyone's comments within 2 minutes, but you can bet I was. I had just convinced myself that if I wasn't doing that, if I wasn't active everywhere at all times, that, I don't know, somehow I wasn't serving them well enough, or they wouldn't think I would care, or not even that, right? I didn't have something I was afraid of. I was just stuck in this cycle of always being on and engaging, and that's not how it has to work, which is good news for us now. So being able to be on the more chill side of things, like I am now during Summit Week, starts with planning your event intentionally. You need to plan around what you can realistically handle, and that's going to look different for you than it does for me. So if live sessions stress you out, don't do them or limit them to one or two. I have one day this week, my calendar's over here, where I have 3 sessions. That will be a busy day. Yesterday I had 3 sessions. It was quite a bit. I was tired by the end. Today I have 2. I was like, oh, this is better, right? I'll note that for next time. And will I still throw in some 3 session days? Probably. But think about that for yourself going in. Or I know some of you have kids without reliable childcare. Maybe skip the live session so you don't have to worry about that. If you tend to get overwhelmed managing multiple things at once, don't have something that requires you to always be on, live chat boxes for presentations or things like that. Most of you shouldn't have live chat boxes for strategic purposes, but that's beside the point. It's just kind of an example to give. But I see so many hosts plan these elaborate summit experiences because it sounds great on the surface, but they don't consider what it will actually look like for them during the event. And then they spend the week feeling frazzled and feeling overwhelmed. Your summit can be incredible and it can be successful without you having to be a superhuman to pull it off. So I want to share how I approach Summit Week now, what it's looking like for me, both with my current support systems and then also what I'd recommend if you don't have those same resources. So maybe you don't have a team, maybe you don't have a partner. But I'm going to start out with those things, with my team and my husband, because I really am able to lean on those things during Summit Week. So let's talk about what those things look like first. So first of all, I just prep my husband ahead of time. We have a little catch-up session every Sunday night where we're like, what did this last week look like? What went well, what didn't? What's coming up for this coming week? So I let him know, hey, it's Summit Week. I'm going to be busier than normal. He knows that, but I still like to vocalize it. This Sunday, I told him, I might need you to bring me lunch some of these days where my call breaks are tight and things like that. I told him I might be busier and more distractible than normal outside of summit time, because even if I'm not actively engaging, I might be thinking about it, right? We also plan dinners for the week that are more in his wheelhouse than mine. Usually we kind of split it 50-50 who's cooking. This week, they're all on him, and he knows that. He knows that there might be nights where all of that is on him. Even though I'm usually available by that time, I tend to be more tired out after being more on than I'm used to all day. Like I said yesterday, I had 3 live sessions and I did get caught a little bit in the checking things all the time. I'm doing much better with that today. But I did lay down for a little bit after the sessions were over. And then my girls and I went for a scooter ride and it just was much better after that, right? But I needed a little bit of time to unplug. So like overall, my husband knows the drill by now, but I still like to communicate those things in advance. It's just really helpful. So if you do have a spouse or a partner, just prep them for that. And then my team also takes care of some of the portions of the event that make me feel like I need to be monitoring things more. So if there's any like links that need to be updated for like the sessions that really release each day or things like that, my team takes care of that. They also come support me during live sessions so I can be focused on what I'm delivering versus what's happening in the chat, what links need to get shared with people and things like that. They handle inbox management, which for me is like the number one sanity saver because that really stresses me out. So maybe for you like bring on someone just to do inbox support during your summit. That's totally an option. But then there are some other things I do to get support outside of my husband and my team that you can probably implement for yourself also. So first, I arrange for extra childcare. So I homeschool my kids. I don't work a full-time schedule, but this week I do have full-time childcare lined up. I have a friend one day, I have a family member one day, and I have a babysitter one day. Like I just figured out what I needed and I got help for that. We usually host a church small group on Thursday nights with 30 people. I have another family hosting that this week, so I don't have to go through a big, exciting summit day and then go try to show up for them because it just wouldn't probably go super well. I don't have to worry about that extra obligation. And then I try to set boundaries for myself and sometimes I break them and then it's my own fault, but I limit my daily calls, right? 2 or 3, that is my max. I don't schedule extra appointments. I'm not going to the chiropractor. I'm not going to get my hair done or anything like that. I also block out time for lunch and take an actual break. So I'm not like eating and scrolling the summit community and asking questions or answering questions. I'm not eating and promoting the event on social media. I'm taking an actual break to eat the lunch that I ideally prepped that morning before heading to my desk. I did not do that today. But then I also prioritize keeping the routines that are important to me. So like I keep my normal morning routine because I just need that. So I wake up and I work out and I go do my Bible study and prayer time. Those things are so important to me, feeling like I'm set up for a good day. I don't need to go straight into the community and see what's going on. Your summit doesn't need to take those kinds of things away from you. So if you don't have a team or you don't have like a partner to help out, Summit Week still doesn't have to be stressful. You can do all those things I just talked about and you can plan your event to feel more chill, right? There's always going to be something you can do. There's always going to be a new post you can make on social media, a new comment in your community to respond to, but you don't have to be there immediately. So remember to plan your summit around your actual capacity and what you can handle. Be reasonable with live sessions or skip the live sessions if you need to. Limit what requires your active attention during the summit. Make sure you have time to eat. I actually have someone in one of our communities about a year ago now who said that she preps meals for her entire summit week the Sunday before. So when it comes time to eat dinner, she just goes to her fridge, pulls out the Tupperware or whatever it is, throws it in her microwave, and she's ready for dinner. And even if you're not super busy, just one less thing that you have to do would just be nice, right? Because you're probably thinking of other things, even if, you're not having to be on the entire time. Arrange extra childcare if you need to, remove any extra appointments, simplify your life in whatever way you can during Summit Week, but also focus on the mindset shift that things don't have to be responded to immediately. You can rest. You can close your community, close your inbox, step away from your computer. You can keep your normal morning routine. You can still end your workday at the normal time. Maybe you choose to jump into the community once or twice in the evening. I usually do it once after my girls go to bed. And maybe you don't, right? Close your laptop. It's okay to do that. Your attendees will be fine and support each other if you're not responding every 5 seconds. Your summit won't fall apart if you take a lunch break, right? So I hope I'm getting across. Summit Week doesn't have to be chaotic, but it might require a little, forward thinking and planning. This event is meant to serve your business and serve your life and not consume it all for a week. So I would love to hear what your summit self-care strategies are. If you have anything I didn't mention, or if you haven't hosted one yet, if you have any questions or any certain situations that are coming to mind that you could use some help with. So drop a comment below and let me know. Would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.